So I finally realized that Sparking Zero is actually just a wannabe Budokai Tenkaichi 4. This game feels more like Dragon Ball Kakarot than it does Budokai Tenkaichi 3, in my opinion. Just the melee combat and just how it feels in general. It just feels like a multiplayer expansion of Kakarot. That's all this is to me. This game is straight up inferior to BT3 in every way except visuals and maybe the number of characters that are actually in the game. Well, at least from my perspective. When I think about what I want from a game, especially a fighting game, anime arena fighting game, it's supposed to be fun to play. It's supposed to feel good to play. And where Sparking Zero is concerned, it's not trash, but it's inferior. Like, I wouldn't even put this game above Demon Slayer, and I stand behind that 100%. And the only people out here defending Sparking Zero, saying it's the best anime arena fighter or the best Dragon Ball game or whatever the fuck they want to say, right, are just some simps and just some guys who just never even played BT3. They've never even fucking touched that game. They've probably seen some clips of it, but they've never fucking played that shit. And if Sparking Zero can be considered a legitimate BT game, then that means every other Dragon Ball game, every 3D Dragon Ball game, is also BT. That means Xenoverse is BT. That means Raging Blast is BT. All of them, right, are all BT. And if this qualifies as BT, because I'm telling you, this is not it, guys. This is not it. And I don't give a fuck what simps want to say or how hard they want to defend it. I love Dragon Ball. You get what I'm saying? I love this fucking anime. But this is not it. The same reason why I didn't love Dragon Ball Kakarot is the same reason why I only like Sparking Zero and don't love Sparking Zero. Well, at least fundamentally, because they feel very similar. And there's always the chance that we may never see a true BT3 successor, a true BT4. We may never see that because this is not it. And the reason why is because things are different now. You know, people don't have the same passion and love for creating all these stuff that they make. You get what I'm saying? We live in a different world now compared to the time when BT3 was made. For all I know, that could have just been an anomaly. It could have just felt so good to play because they just made the thing and we just love it, right? Whereas it's probably the same with the Sparking Zero devs. They just made something, you know, and BT3 veterans are gonna compare it, right, to the peak of Dragon Ball games. But at the end of the day, there's no guarantee that we will ever see a true successor to BT3. And we just have to be prepared to live with that. Because when these devs set out to make a new game, right, for them it's just another game, gonna make it, try and ship it out before the deadline, you know, get that money. At the end of the day, it's all about the money, especially in a time where studios are shutting down left, right and center. They are literally sweating so hard, so they go so fucking hard to market that shit. They don't even have time to put passion in that. They're just shitting themselves every fucking day when they show up to work. So how can they put passion into the combat system and make it flow better and make it unique and even push it forward in significant ways? Because with Sparking Zero, they just tried to play it safe. They didn't try and reimagine what a DB fight could actually look like. They just tried to play it safe. And by trying to live in BT3's shadow, they fell short. They fell fucking short. Maybe not in sales, but in terms of a quality product. In terms of being a true successor to BT3, by being a game that totally outshines BT3. That's what it should have done. But it didn't do that. It's still in BT3's shadow. And when I think about it, it doesn't even belong in BT3's shadow because it feels more like Kakarot than anything else. And this game left a lot of important fighting stages out of the list as well, because when you think about it, what happened to Master Roshi's house, the little island, you know, that should be a fighting stage as well. They should have a stage where they're out in space. You know, there's a few important stages that are missing from Sparking Zero. So even in that way, it still falls short. And I don't really want no developer to tell me or anyone to tell me that the only reason why there's one stage for split screen is because destruction or whatever. The destruction in the game isn't all that. You can't tell me if two of those rocks break at the same time that it's going to tank the frame rate significantly or just stop running completely. I don't believe that. I would have to see it to believe it. Probably the only stage that I would see as a worthy excuse, if they excluded one stage and that was the city stage, you know, with all the buildings and stuff, but even then I don't even think it was that significant. My belief is that it's just anti-consumer practices, because we've been noticing a trend, these companies removing value so that they can sell it back to you. And really and truly, that's just what I believe. Because when you look at it, just look at the PS5 Pro, right? Remove the disk drive so they can sell it back to you, right? What about the PS6? Imagine if they move something even more than the disk drive. Suppose they remove controllers, or just imagine if they remove the fucking fan from the thing and it would shut down after every hour, right? You have to buy the fan so you can put it in, right? They're just removing value so that they can sell it back to you. Same thing with Sparking Zero. Remove the soundtracks, the key soundtracks, the ones that you actually want to listen to, and sell it back to you. They're just thinking of any fucking way, any fucking possible way for them to try and remove value and sell it back to you. It's the same reason why you can't copy a save to your flash drive on your PS5. You have to store it with the PS Plus subscription. I think you could do that with the PS4, I'm not sure, but that should definitely be a feature on it. This is just a style. Same thing for Call of Duty, it's just a trend right now. Remove the value so that they can sell it back to you. It's one of the most fucked up things in modern gaming right now. It's really fucked up. And this is why piracy is even on the rise, because people see this shit happening. They're going out there, they're buying PCs, they're pirating fucking games. They don't give a fuck about their nouveau. This shit is happening because of these modern gaming practices. It's anti-consumer, it's fucked up, and it needs to change, it needs to stop. But it's not gonna change because people vote with their fucking wallet. And NPCs are totally happy with it and they make up the majority. That's just how it is.